Who's the daddy? So in this video, I'd just like to ask the question, is Elex really that bad? Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So I started my time with the sci-fi action RPG Elex a little later than most. I had seen information surrounding its release and I was intrigued by the look of the game. I did find, however, a lot of negative press surrounding the game upon its release, with some quite mediocre and bad scores from some reviewers. So with that in mind, I decided to hold off getting it and I thought I'd wait for a few patches to be released. I do find nowadays with the size and ambition of large open world RPGs, there's never a perfect game release. I mean, just look at Skyrim for example. It took them months to fix all the bug quests and crashing, yet it's still a fantastic game. I've now had a chance to play Elex and I can now share with you my feelings and experience on this game. Better late than never, so they say. If you was to ask me what Elex looked and played like, I'd say that my first impression was that the environment had a similar art style and colours to that of the popular game Fortnite. This is only represented in the forest region where you first start your adventure. I also had a flashback to playing the 2013 game from Trion Worlds called Defiance, which also had a similar feel to its open world. There was also a Mass Effect vibe in places too, which isn't a bad thing. The graphics within Elex are not the best I've ever seen and in some areas are a bit basic, but there's still enough detail to the environment to be easy on the eye. The game runs at a pretty steady 60 frames per second on PS4 Pro most of the time, with me only experiencing frame rate drop a couple of times so far. The scavenging and survival mechanics reminded me of games such as Fallout and Skyrim. You can loot junk, pick locked chests, hack electronic locks, cook meat and other recipes for sustenance, and even pick herbs and mushrooms to make potions, or just eat them raw for a minor pick-me-up. Upgrading weapons and other items can also be done with the right skills and ingredients. The combat feels relatively smooth. It reminded me of the Elder Scrolls Online combat from the third-person perspective. It didn't feel as free-flowing as I would have liked, but it was not flawed enough to stop me from enjoying it. Elex has a stamina management system similar to that of Dark Souls. Correctly managing it when you attack, dodge and defend is the difference between winning or losing in a fight. You can mix up the combat with a mix of weapons and powers. You get a good selection of weapons to choose from. Some require certain skill levels to use, which require you to level up, but they range from swords, axes, bows, energy weapons and shotguns to name a few. You can even make use of magic to make the combat more varied. There is also different armor options which also vary depending on which faction you choose.
Another incomer. Are you here to trade, fight, or just add another mouth to the masses? Because unless we get help, I don't know how we're gonna keep feeding the people we've already got here. They are supposed to be able to conjure stuff up with their magic, but can they do that with supplies? Can they magic up the food we need? No, they can't.
Magic up supplies?
Mana, spells, magic it up, whatever you want to call it. Work here might be quite hard, physical labor, but it's supposed to be balanced out with magic. But where is the help that I need? But then, what does magic do for me when I'm hungry?
I found the voice acting and story to be good. I had previously seen negativity surrounding this. I'm not sure why, as the voice acting was pretty good, and as long as you can get past the static facial movements of the NPCs in conversations, then interactions are enjoyable and sometimes funny.
So what do you want?
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting on your mom. What do you think I'm doing? I'm trying to find some shit that's worth selling. You even know how much tech they have stashed in that pit? They actually throw all that shit away. But while I know that, it's not like I can hang about up there in Goliath to try and get it. Those tree shaggers get funny about outlaws.
I did find the voice for the main character, Jax, a little emotionless and gravelly in his tone, although that does work with the fact he is an alb and that is one of their main characteristics.
So you really think I'll forgive you and help out?
Hey, wow. Losing the Elex has brought out your emotions.
So if you was to ask me if you should get the game, I'd say that if you're looking for a post-apocalyptic sci-fi action RPG with an open world, one with a good challenge, then I'd say get it. The fact that it has been on sale now a few times means you can pick it up for a bargain price, and it's one for the collection. It's not one of the best games out there, but in my book, it's far from bad, and I'm enjoying it. I'd like to give a shout out to Lena at THQ Nordic. Thank you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.
Welcome, brave traveler. Though you have walked far and the journey has been hard, you have now arrived in paradise. That'll be 200 shards admission, please.
Who's the daddy?